Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make a trifold with pockets. We're going to do a fall theme, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. So we're starting out with a piece of paper that is 9 by 11, and you can do the 8.5 by 11. Doesn't matter, it'll only be like half an inch shorter or whatever. It's just the size I decided to cut it at. I cut this off of a 12 by 12 and it's single-sided. So I'm just going to do a little stenciling on the inside. Double-sided would work good too. So I'm going to score at 3 3/4. And this is just regular scrapbook paper, so it's nothing that's super heavy. And 7.5. Now I just figured this out by folding it and finding where I liked the folds better. And then I'm going to score the bottom up 2 inches. Or I'm going to score the bottom 2 inches and turn it up, however you want to say it. Okay, so we're all done with this. So I'm just going to turn it over and fold on all of my lines. And I had my bone folder on here somewhere because I just used it. There it is. Now when you fold it, you're going to want one side that's just a little tiny bit shorter than the other side. So let me just fold this back barely. Let me see how wide that is. It's about 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sixteenths. So I folded it back just barely before the 3 3/4, just to give me a little extra room there. Actually, that one should have been the right side. Actually, I just put it upside down is all I did. See, this would have been just fine. It should have been turned this way, and that would have come out more even. But we can have it fold either way. We'll just have it open this way, and that'll be just fine. Okay. Yep, that'll be all right. And just mine open backwards. All right, now I'm going to, on my folds down here for my pockets, I'm just going to trim a little tiny bit so my pockets don't bind when I fold them up. Just ink this a little bit so you can see it. So I'm just going to barely trim on each side of my score line. I don't like it when they're cut too wide, but you can cut it however you like it. Yeah, that's good. Let me just cut this little tiny bit in a little bit more. There we go. So how's everyone doing today? And do you like the fall projects? I love fall. If I haven't said that before, and I have. Okay, so that gives us leeway for our pockets. Then I want to take each corner here and just go to my fold line. Now this time I'm not going to ink it because, you know, I don't want to have that ink where it doesn't belong. Then I can erase that. So I want that just inside of my fold. And then the same on this side. Just inside my fold. And then I can erase these. So I'm going to have the orange flaps down and up. So I want to just stencil a little bit in here because I don't want all that white showing. So I'm just going to lay this on here. I was already doodling to make for sure the color that I wanted. And I'm using Potter's Clay. Now, normally I would have had this all done already, but I guess once in a while it's okay to do a little bit of stenciling or inking on camera. I'm going to go down to where it'll be underneath my pockets. Oops, I moved it. So I probably didn't have to go down that far, but that's okay. And I think that's pretty. And then I want to do some over here. So it's going to be a little above my pocket. So we'll do about in there. And then we'll, let me see. Yep, that's covered. So we'll do a little bit on this side. Okay, that's all good. All right. I guess it didn't take too long. Now, I'm going to fold these down and glue them. Now, if you wanted to, you could fold one side and leave a little tuck. But I'm going to just fold it down and glue it all the way. Now you can use paper that has a design in it. I had one piece of this orange paper that was just plain because I want to add fancies to it, and I didn't want to make it too busy. Ouch, poked myself. All right, now I'm going to just glue my pockets up. Now let me see, do I want to put a little pull? Maybe. Let's just do a little pull. Not too deep. Okay, now we'll add more glue again. And this is a super easy project. You can just glue it into your journal or paper clip it in, however you want to do it. Okay, there we go. Now on here and on the front, no wait a minute, on here and on the front, I want to have a pocket on each one also. Let me get this back up straight. So keep in mind you can have this open however, but you have to pay attention to the way your fold are going. I shouldn't have I must have just turned the paper wrong for my bottom. I don't know. But we don't mind. So that's not staying up there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put a pocket on right here. And let me see, we can put the little pull in the top of these. Now these ones I rounded the corners a little bit. And I inked around them just lightly with brown ink. I thought that would just stand out a little bit. And before I forget what I'm doing, I just want to ink around this a little bit. I should have did that on my pockets too. I don't always remember the inking thing. And then we'll just ink inside a little bit. Now I can stick a little paper in here. And just ink along there a little bit. And that'll work. I just don't want it to go too far out on the pocket because my intentions are not to have ink all over it. And I should have inked around that a little bit, but I didn't, so we'll just get a little from the side. And let's see. I think we have it all now. And if we don't, well, I guess I can do it more later. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to glue my pocket on here, and it's going to be, I just don't understand why that's not staying up there. I don't know. I'm going to put a little piece of Velcro on it to hold it closed anyway, so. But we're going to have the same color pocket against the background. And I just cut my pockets so it leaves a little bit of a border around it. Then on my pockets, I want to put some lace. Let me cut. So I just want to put it across the center of each of my pockets. And then we'll just trim a little. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of my pockets, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so then after I did my pockets, I decided that I wanted to trim the inside and outside with the lace also. So that's what I'm doing. And I almost didn't cut this long enough, but it stretches, so we'll start down here at the bottom. And then I'll have just enough at the top. Well, now I don't have that on there, right? There we go. And I think since the orange is just plain, I think the lace gives it a little something extra. And brown and orange goes good together. Okay. So that'll be just fine. Now you can do lace or ribbon or leave it plain. However you want to do it. You can put washi tape on it. Okay. So I think that's cute. Now we're going to decorate. Let me see. On my pockets, I'm going to use some of the, I printed some more. I'm going to use some of the things like I used yesterday in my other video. I have glue all over my fingers. So I'm just going to glue these on my pockets. And even though I have that little pull there, that's just fine. And on this pocket, we're going to have pumpkin pie. Then I have these. We're going to put the flowers in the center and pumpkins on each end. Oops. I don't want to glue my pockets shut. Guess I don't need it right up there. Love these little cutouts. I think they're just so cute. Now up here on top, I'm going to glue this pumpkin down. I can use this. And I think that's pretty. Love it, love it. Now on my little flaps here, I just cut these out with my flower punch. And I'm going to just put them like that just to decorate these up a little tiny bit. And I just added a little gem in the center, just to highlight them. This is some more of that paper that my ink was running out. Okay, then we're going to glue these. Then I think that's all of our decorations. Now we can put our tags in. And then I have to put my Velcro on. Maybe I should put my Velcro on first. So I'm going to have it closed this way. So I just cut Velcro in half. And I'm going to put it just between the pocket and the flap. Sometimes the plastic is very hard to get off, especially when you have the little half pieces. Well, let me work on this a minute. Okay. So now we'll stick this back on here. And just fold it over. Make sure it stays back where it belongs. And then that'll hold it shut. Okay. Now, I have to put something on the top of my little tags. I just kind of forgot about that. But these papers here are just papers from the project that I did yesterday, where we made a little photo album. If you didn't see that video, check it out. So I just rounded the corners and made journal cards, and I have to get something to put on the top of my tags. Okay, so I used some of this brown ribbon, just from the Dollar Tree, and it has orange leaves in it. So I just cut little short strips and just stapling them on. And then gluing just a little gem over the staple, and just to highlight it a little tiny bit. And that's all we're doing with our tags. Okay, so then on the big one, I just did that. And then lots of journaling space. Let me move this down so we're in view. And then on this pocket, we're going to have one of the bigger tags and one of the smaller tags. Now I didn't decorate this because I knew the tags was going to be in there, but you can decorate it if you want. And then we're going to close that over and put a big tag and a little tag. And I think, even though the background is just plain, I think it turned out pretty good. So we have our pocket and our tags, and we have another pocket and our tags, our big tag in the center, and our 2 journal cards. So that's my video for today. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And I hope you come back to see me for my next video. And until then, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.